second event of the sixth session of the Canvas Askew, the sixth year. So actually that's fudging it a little bit because for a year in the middle we didn't have any, but it is technically the sixth year of the Canvas Askew. For many of you who've been with us on this journey, you know what the Canvas Askew is. For those who are here today for the first time, what we try and do in the Canvas Askew is to bring to the public table discussions around issues of mental health and mental illness that merit discussion. And as many of you would know, we've tried to look at many things. We've tried to look at disease, disorder, happiness, the process of talking about it, addiction, the ways of dealing with it. Because for disciplines like psychiatry and mental health, there are many issues which are poorly understood. There are many issues which are conflicted. There are many issues which have multiple discourses that surround them. In that sense, what essentially we are trying to do with the Canvas Askew is to discuss those issues, because it's not that any of those multiple histories have lesser value or meaning, but I think that they all need to be, tabled and examined and interrogated. With that sense, what we are doing today is talking about the mental hospitals. And the discussions around the mental hospitals, or our interest, especially of the people who are on the panel, around issues about the mental hospitals started with a workshop which actually all four of us were present at the Nehru Memorial Museum and Library about 4 or 5 years. 5 years ago, I think? Yeah, 5 years ago. And essentially the story is this, that across the world, the history of the mental hospital is that of a story of squalor, brutality, of negative images. And it is this history of the mental hospital, and it is this picture of the mental hospital, which has created this huge movement to what is called deinstitutionalization, or the closing of the mental hospitals. And in a sense, the consequences of the deinstitutionalization process has been confusing at best, in the sense that it's not in doubt that many problematic things and many difficult and undesirable things happen and continue to happen in mental hospitals. But there are other stories to be told as well. So, depending on which way you start, if you start at the end of the story, what has happened with the closure of the mental hospitals is that the number of people on the streets of any large metropolis in the world, the number of people with severe mental illness, destitute on the streets of cities, has grown enormously. Also, what has happened is that the number of people with severe mental illness in other institutions, specifically in forensic institutions like jails, has actually grown tremendously. And there is lots of work which now says that there's a greater number of people with severe mental illness in jails in America. And in the hospitals, there have been many different and actually quite amazing things which have happened, little glimpses of which we are trying to show you in the exhibition.